Welcome on back to Skippers. Today we have 3 must-add players for your fantasy baseball teams in Week 9. They're 3 really different tiers of players, but I believe all of them will be useful. As always, this video is sponsored by FanDuel Canada. If you want to watch the games in the app, participate in Dinger Tuesdays, some exclusive markets, you need to be doing that on FanDuel Canada. Let's get into these 3 players. The first one, Matt Chapman, 53% rostered of the San Francisco Giants. He plays third base. So far this season, 249 average, 8 home runs, 27 driven in, 5 stolen bases, his weighted runs created plus, sitting at 117. As a fan of a team that used to employ Matt Chapman, this hot streak that he is on currently is not out of the ordinary. People may seem to forget that he was the best hitter in all of baseball last April and then was one of the worst for the rest of the season. But he's in the middle of a stretch where he has hit a home run in 3 straight games. Matt Chapman hits the ball really hard and is a top 15 guy in the league when it comes to damage per batted ball event. He swings the bat really fast, makes a lot of hard contact. So good things should happen to Matt Chapman. Do I want to be trading fancy assets to acquire Matt Chapman in the middle of his hot streak? I think that's a very dumb idea. But and you also know how bad it can get with him. So I don't want to be trading people to get him that I think are valuable, but absolutely love this as a waiver wire pickup. Matt Chapman is a top 8% exit velocity guy, has a barrel rate over 10%. When he makes contact, a lot of great things happen. The problem is his strikeout rate, and that's what we think on the surface. Strikeout rate, contact rate's poor for Matt Chapman, both of which he's actually improved upon from last season. So maybe it's a buy low spot. I still don't want to be trading assets for Matt Chapman, but good things are happening right now. And I think over the long term, they can be better than they were last season. I am one to cope and say Matt Chapman is bad because he didn't resign with the Toronto Blue Jays, but he's an insanely productive hitter when he gets into these pocket of hot streaks. He's been great against left-handed pitchers as well. So if you're betting on FanDuel and you want to take his bases and he's facing a left-handed pitcher, that is a great thing to do because he is hitting .348 against lefties with an OPS of 1,009. So if you have the chance, I'm sure his roster rate's going to skyrocket here today. I am picking up Matt Chapman. Second one, Alec Burleson of the St. Louis Cardinals. He's a first baseman and outfielder. He's 30% rostered on the season, a 298 average, 5 home runs, 17 driven in, 2 stolen bases, and his weighted runs created plus is 126. Alec Burleson has a really interesting profile right now for a guy who I thought was going to be a big power bat first baseman in the big leagues. But he's just not playing first base at all. He has 4 games started at first base, 17 in the outfield, and 19 at DH. For fantasy, that doesn't really matter that much unless you can get a versatile player because you can slot into multiple different spaces. But the more you DH, the more I think you can stay healthy. So that's good for Burleson here. Him hitting for this much average isn't out of the ordinary. He has solid exit velocities, a decent hard hit percentage, great whiff rate, and great strikeout rate. Seems like a good platoon bat as they're using him right now because he's hitting .320 against right-handers and only has 7 hits against lefties. But of those 7 hits he has against left-handers, 2 of those are for home runs, and then he has 3 against right-handers. He isn't whiffing a lot on secondary pitches. In the month of May, he has a 200 ISO with a 145 weighted runs created plus, and his average is .333. Although the walk rate has been really bad for Burleson, like you'd want to see the chase rate down, walk rates up. If we want to say he's a really professional hitter, great at bats, but he's found a way to be super productive. I don't know what to make of his full season prospects, but for right now, I want to be picking up this versatile bat. Lastly, the third player this week, Patrick Bailey. He is a catcher for the Giants as well. He is only 5% rostered, so look out for this if you are in deep leagues. 292 average, 3 home runs, 12 driven in, 1 stolen base. His weighted runs created plus is 131. Patrick Bailey was in the midst of a nice start to his year 2 leap when he started dealing with concussion-like symptoms that kept him out for the better part of 2 weeks. But his first game back a couple days ago, he went 3 for 5 with 2 runs and an RBI. Patrick Bailey is a switch hitter, doesn't have glaring holes in one side of his swing, which is always nice, but when he swings left-handed against right-handed pitching, he is a lot better. So he is a 142 weighted runs created plus against right-handed pitching and 92 against left-handed pitching. The 92 isn't horrible. It's below league average, obviously, but it's not like Ellie was last year where it was kind of out of control on one side, and it is preferred for him to be a better left-handed hitter against righties than the opposite way because you face more right-handed pitching. Patrick Bailey has raised his hard hit percentage by 10 points, has dropped his strikeout rate from 28.3% last year to 22.5% this year, while raising his walk rate from 5.9% to 8.8%. The walk rate's not a massive leap, but at least it isn't a step down. Bailey ran a barrel rate of 10% last year. It's at 4.3 right now, so I think that'll work its way up at some point closer to 10%. Don't think he's going to sit at 4. He has an average exit velocity 5 miles an hour harder than last season. And if we were just looking at the batted balls, Bailey had a ground ball rate 43.7% last season, and to this point, 35.7%, with a massive boost to his line drive rate. For being 5% rostered, I think this is a great catcher pickup for your deep leagues. Thank you guys for watching Skippers. Let me know what you think of these 3 players, anyone that you are going to be picking up. Thank you to FanDuel Canada, and I will see you guys next week.